Hello there, and thanks for clicking on the link taking you to this YouTube video. It is a recording of a Zoom lesson where I go through the assessment for Theta 1 Chapter 9, which is on sequences and graphs. I hope you find it useful. Okay, right, so the solutions to the sequences and graphs unit assessment. So here is the first question. It says, write down the next term in each of these sequences. So the first sequence goes 12, 10, 8, 6. So it's a descending arithmetic sequence. And the next term will be 4 because it is going down in twos. On part B, it is not an arithmetic sequence. We are timesing by 10 each time. So 1000 times 10 is 10,000. Okay, well done if you got both of those correct. In question 2, the term-to-term rule for a sequence is add 3. So it's an ascending arithmetic sequence or linear sequence. The first term is 2. So it's written down 2. And then it would be 5 and 8 for 1 mark if you get both of those correct. Okay, question 3. Here is a sequence of patterns made from sticks. Draw pattern number 4. So it will be the same, excuse me doing this freehand, you may well have used rulers. So we can draw pattern number 3, which will look something like this. Pattern number 4, we are adding another square on, so it would look like that. In terms of numbers, we are adding 4 sticks each time. So in pattern number 3, there would be 13. In pattern number 4, I've just drawn 17. And in pattern number 5, another 4 sticks are added, so that will be 21. Okay, write down the number of sticks in pattern number 10. Now I could keep on adding on for each time until I get up to pattern number 10, and you get full marks if you do that. Or I could spot that these numbers are 1 more than the 4 times table. So 4 times 10 is 40, add 1 is 41. So question 4. The term-to-term rule for a sequence is multiply by 3 and then subtract 2. That means to get from one term to the next, we multiply by 3 and then subtract 2. So if the first term in the sequence is 2, 2 times 3 is 6, subtract 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12, subtract 2 is 10. Then 10 times 3 is 30, subtract 2 is 28. First 4 terms in the sequence are done, so 1 mark for all of that. Now, question 5, it starts to talk about position to term rule. That's what you do with the position number to get to the term in the sequence. So the first term in the sequence has position number 1. So the position to term rule for a sequence is position number times 2 plus 3. Find the 10th term of this sequence. So the position number is 10. So 10 times 2 is 20. Add 3. So you've got 20, add 3, which is 23. Well done if you got that one correct. Here is another sequence. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Copy this statement. The position to term rule for this sequence is, so the term, the number in the sequence, and this is the 5 times table. So it will be position number, I'm going to abbreviate that to n, times 5, because it's the 5 times table. Or you might see that written as 5n. If you have indicated in any way that you're taking the position number and multiplying it by 5, then you get the mark for that question. Right, question 6. This is about graphs of linear functions or straight line graphs. So complete the table for the graph of y equals 2x plus 2. So that means whatever x is, we are timesing by 2 and then we are adding 2 to get y. So if it's 2x plus 2, when x is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. So when x is 3, y is 8. Position number 4, sorry, when x is 4, mixing it up with sequences there. When x is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So when x is 4, y is 10. And when x is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, add 2 is 12. So we've got 12 there. Okay, so they're going up by the same amount each time, so it's going to form a straight line. So when x is 1, y is 4. When x is 2, y is 6. X is 3, y is 8. We've got the coordinate 4, 10, and 5, 12. Now we join those with a straight line and we extend our straight line as far as our axis will allow. So that is the graph of y equals 2x plus 2. So every single x coordinate is multiplied by 2 and then has 2 added to it to get y. Okay, well done if you got that correct. That'll be 1 mark for filling in these numbers in the table, 1 mark for plotting the points, and the final mark of the 3 for drawing a straight line through them. Okay, now in question 7 we return to sequences. The nth term of a sequence is n plus 2. That means the position number add 2. So work out the value for the 10th term. So the position number is 10, add 2 to it, and you get 12. So question 8. Write an expression for the nth term of these sequences. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So it's going up in 4s, so it's going to be linked to the 4 times table or linked to 4 times the position number. Okay, and actually those numbers are the 4 times table, so we don't need to add or subtract anything, so it is just 4n. If you have written down 4 times n or n times 4, it doesn't say write it as simply as possible, so you can have that. The next one, again, this is going up in 4s again, so it's linked to the 4 times table again, 4 times the position number. Now when the position number is 1, 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. So these numbers are 1 less than the 4 times table. So 4n take away 1. In question 9, 4, 9, 14, 19, 24 is an arithmetic sequence. Explain why. It's because it goes up or down by the same amount each time. So if you graphed it, it would be a straight line graph. So all we need to write down is because it goes up by the same amount each time, or it goes up by 5 each time. If you've put anything that resembles that or implies because it's going up by the same amount each time, then you get that mark. Okay, now question 10 is quite a tricky one. Find the missing terms in this arithmetic sequence. So you need to find first what the term-to-term rule is. Now to go from 5 to 13, we have gone up by 8. We can assume it's going up by the same amount each time because we're told it's an arithmetic sequence. So if 2 jumps are 8, or the difference between 2 terms are 8, the term-to-term difference must be 4. There's a lot of add 4s in this test, aren't there? So that would mean the number that we add 4 to give 5 would be 1. Add 4 to 5 and we get 9. Plus 4 is 13, which we're given. Plus 4 again is going to be 17. If you have implied anywhere that it's an add 4 each time, and you've got any one of these 3 missing numbers correct, you get 1 mark. Completely correct, and you get 2 marks. Question 11. Draw the graph of y equals x on the grid. If you want to be absolutely sure, you can do a table of values. Choose any values for x, so I'm going to choose 0, 1 and 2. If y equals x, y will always be the same as what x is, so that will also be 0, 1 and 2. Okay, so you are going to have points here, here and here. One of the 2 marks if you've done all of that. The second mark if you've remembered to put a line going through it. Okay, so well done if you managed to do that. If you did make a few tiny little errors, that's why we're doing these little unit assessments even while we're on lockdown, so we can actually learn from them as we consolidate our learning and prepare for the learning in year 8. Okay, if you are viewing this on YouTube, thank you so much for clicking on the link. I hope you are well, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye.